Welcome back to the Pluto Sphere, connecting decentralized technologies to the global economy. We're here to bring you the latest from the leading commanders in the crypto space. This week, we would like to welcome our guest, Connor, co-founder of UniX Gaming. Their mission is to be the biggest play-to-earn guild, optimizing this community-owned assets for maximum utility. UniX have built a huge community on like-minded gamers who want to create opportunities for people through the play-to-earn crypto revolution. They offer free gaming, blockchain, and entrepreneurial education to help create opportunities for people in developing countries. They are building some of the most competitive play-to-earn esport teams in the industry to compete at the highest level. Very exciting times for play-to-earn games. Well, maybe we could just sort of jump right into our questions
Sure.
in terms of sort of how the idea came about as a whole. How long have you been sort of in fruition of UniX? How long have you guys been building this?
Yeah, it all happened very, very quick. As I said, UniX, I'd say from birth was about 5 months ago. It started off very, very small around the concept of just a play-to-earn scholarship model. We started playing Axie Infinity, and really just getting into it was during COVID. COVID had just kind of kicked in, and a lot of our founders are big gamers, so they kind of when that kind of scenario happened where you couldn't go to work and these kind of things, gaming really came back into play, and then it, obviously being big in crypto as well, seeing that this could become a revenue stream and play some games was just something that like a childhood like dream. It's like, oh, I'm going to make money from playing computer. And just from there, we started to build out. We started to, see the concept, see what could be done, how this was scalable, and how there was actually a way for people all around the globe to benefit from this. And the scholarship model that could be built around it. So we started building out scholars, and we started building community. And from that point, it just organically grew really, really quickly. It was like all of a sudden we had 10,000 people that were like in our Discords, like getting super hyped up about wanting to play Axie Infinity. And all of a sudden we were at 100,000, community. And we were just like a couple of months down the line, we have like 100 scholars, and it was all just kind of off our own personal like investments. And it just created this kind of like pipe dream of like, we could do something big, and the one thing that we were looking at, like it came to like June time, we're looking at YGG, and they just done their raise with their token. They raised like 22 million in like 27 seconds on their IDO, which was pretty crazy. And they had this massive injection, and they just jumped up to like 4,000 scholars. And we were like, okay, so it's achievable. And two, like the one thing that's holding us back is injection of funds. So we seen that as that's the coin is the opportunity for us to like really become the biggest guild. Like if we had in our mind, we want to have 5,000 scholars. Amazing.
So let's go back to it. So could you elaborate to our followers on guilds? Let's talk about guilds. Can you explain what the guild is?
Yeah, so a guild is basically like a gaming community. The guild is there to support the economy of the scholarship model, and a scholarship model is basically for Axie Infinity or for any of these games. There's always a cost to enter into the games, so they're built around NFTs. In Axie Infinity is the best example because it's the biggest economy right now. But there's 3 NFTs. You have to get 3 Axies in order to start playing the game. Each Axie now is valued at around, an average Axie is valued at around $600 to $800. So it's going to cost you about $2,000 to start playing the game. So that creates a big problem for people. Typically in the gaming space now, you spend $50 and you can buy a game and start playing. So that's where these guilds come into play. They come in as like a foundation, like we have a whole foundation set up, within the business. And we come in and we sponsor players, and we buy the NFTs, and then we lend the NFTs to the players, and we take a revenue share in terms of what's earned or the yield that's earned through playing the game. So this for a lot of people becomes like a real like a part-time job, because they play for 2 or 3 hours a day, and at the end of the month they can earn anything from $250 $50 to $500 like a month.
Well, it's incredible, really, because obviously people that can't afford to pay to start playing a game, this is really sort of like the saving grace for those people. And to be honest, the people that are really wanting to do play to earn is for sort of a passive income. They're not looking to spend too much. So it's kind of, a bit of a lifesaver for those people, especially. So maybe we could talk about your roadmap. And at the moment, I think you're at 1,000 scholars. And as soon as you launch, there's going to be a huge influx there. What's your roadmap looking like?
Sure.
In terms
so that's even now we actually got 1,000 scholars in Axie Infinity, and we've partnered with over 15 games now. I was literally on a call with another game just before this, 1 hour before that as well. So there's constantly games now coming to us and with a scholarship model. So we took on another game. They've given us 1,000 NFTs for our scholars, another one 250. So our scholarships are already blowing up, which is amazing across other games. But after launch, our aim is we want to be getting closer to the range of 4,000, closer to YGG in terms of how many scholars we're supporting in Axie Infinity. And we want to be at 10,000, by New Year across different games.
Are there any partnerships that we can get excited about? I mean, I know the educational partner that you guys have are huge over your foundation and things. Maybe we could just elaborate on how you're working with them and if you plan on working with any others.
For sure. So Guide is an official partner and investor into Axie. So that's fully certified English, maths, science. We can provide full certificates for our whole community, and now that's recognized worldwide. So they're actually like the number one out there, which was amazing. It was so crucial for us because the whole education piece for us is so important.
Yeah.
And as I said, Joe is heading up our head of education. He also has an education platform for business owners. So that's a big part of what we want to bring in, is actually teaching people to have businesses online and how they can earn money online. Obviously, crypto is the big part of that. And we also want them to have a good experience, because a lot of people come into crypto and get scammed or have problems with wallets or lose money. And if the players are coming in, because with gaming, it's such an opportunity for mass adoption of people coming into crypto, gaming being a $180 billion industry. If we were going to bring all of the gamers over into a play to earn space, that's going to just amplify the crypto space incredibly. So we want to educate them and onboard them in the right way. And then also give them the opportunity to get other jobs, that they're seeking, because English is the most powerful thing for people in the Philippines, Indonesia, Africa, South America, these kind of places. When they have English as an asset, they can get a job anywhere online. So that's one of our biggest goals, having 185,000 people in our Discord community now, and we've only got 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 scholars. We're only supporting 2,000 people out of that, which is a very small percentage of our community. So if we can offer them free education, we feel like everybody in our community is supported. If we can, in some way give back, we do giveaways. We at the moment, we've got a big giveaway for a trip to Boracay, and second place gets a full gaming computer. We're always, every month we're doing like cash giveaways, trips, whatever we can to try and
enhance
really
the level of education. No, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So big day tomorrow. You've obviously got the launch. Copperlaunch isn't as well known in the market as well as Balancer. Sure. I think what our community would love is to sort of dive into that, how it works, how people can get involved, sure. and ultimately what made you choose those guys. Because obviously we've been ever since you've mentioned that you were sort of launching on Copperlaunch, we've educated ourselves as a company a hell of a lot. And we really like the way that they work. We really like their mentality of sort of the longevity of how they're going to be in the space. So maybe talk us through Copperlaunch, Balancer.
Yeah, so Copperlaunch again for us was just such a great opportunity, and we really loved how it, fair launch. Obviously there's a lot of these things with IDOs and launches when people have problems with bots and all of these sorts of issues. And the great thing about Copper is they eliminate all of that. And everything is done on platform. So it's super easy to purchase. You literally go on to Copperlaunch. When you go onto the auction, they have their own decks. And straight away there, you can literally purchase. Super simple, makes life easier for everybody. And it is, as I said, like a fair launch. So how it works, it actually works a reverse Dutch auction, as it's called. So what happens is when we start, we're running over a 72-hour period. So we have a start price of $1 on the auction. And as time goes by, if there isn't enough buy pressure, the price will actually start to reduce, and it will have a finish point. If, for instance, nobody purchased, it would have a finish point at over the 72 hours. But what you tend to see is this sort of action up down throughout the course of the auction, and it means that people are coming in at very kind of neutral prices based on how much volume of people are coming into the project. So if there isn't a lot of volume, you can end up getting a much cheaper price. And if there is a lot of volume, that's what kind of spreads out, because even the volume can go quite high for a short period, start to retrace again and go high. So what happens is when you come off the balancer, you've got a lot of people with a lot of kind of a bit of a difference in price, but tend to be kind of very close to one another as well. So it reduces that problem when people come off of actual, a price dump, because everybody is still kind of in the same boat, and it's very, and it becomes a very consistent, steady growth, because we're looking at the project super long term.
Yeah.
And that's what we want, is that like people have all came in at a very balanced kind of playing field. And it means that the project, like in the long term, can grow very well. And we had a couple of recent projects that, Merit Circle, they did absolutely amazing on there. They raised 105 million. And their price has been super consistent, over since they've left the platform. And that's what we really are striving for, is that consistency in the growth of the project. And what it does allow is for a big raise. And the bigger the raise that we can have, it means the faster we can grow our scholarship model, and the faster we can get into our roadmap, because unlike a lot of other guilds, we've got a lot of stuff in our roadmap that we need to spend money on.
You have a lot of stuff on your roadmap. So talking of the roadmap, you've mentioned that there's an NFT clothing line. What can we expect from this?
Yeah, so gamers love the merchandise,
Yes,
and even as I said, in the Philippines with some of the teams, and they're constantly making their own T-shirts. They go out and get Axie printed on T-shirts and UniX printed on their T-shirts, and they're sending us pictures with their families and thanking us for their scholarships and that they love Axie. And so yeah, we really want again, having gaming, gamers as our founders, they want to, UniX mouses and UniX, computer screens and T-shirts and shoes and runners, and, a whole line of merch that are obviously, NFT, which again there's a lot of hype in the community around. So that's a big part of what we want to do. And obviously NFTs in the gaming space is huge. So this is our focus, so that we have our own NFTs. And again, even the games that are coming into us, our aim is every time we partner with a game that we're going to give a certain percentage of all of our NFTs out to our community, as airdrops. So yeah, we've got a big focus around that NFT, and we're excited about the merchandise.
Well, that's definitely a benefit that the foundation will be bringing, just to sort of create some FOMO as 22 comes into play. Is there anything else that we can expect from your sort of roadmap from the foundation next year?
One of the further, obviously after launch, we're hoping to have our staking pool basically straight away. Where we plan to, because again, our company, again, looking from the foundation side, we're already generating revenue now, which is quite unusual for a lot of crypto projects to be generating revenue before they even launch. And we're currently at around $300,000 a month in revenue, and a portion of our revenue as that grows is going to be used to buy back into our token. and provide our buybacks for our stakers and into our staking pool. We then want the next step will be for our launchpad. So we want to do a purely gaming launchpad, and help other games actually launch and help market and incubate those games and really help them with their community, because that's the biggest problem right now games have, is they're trying to build a game and build community at the same time, and it can be very, very difficult. Building community by itself, which is what we've done, even that has its extreme difficulties and is exhausting.
A self-grown organic community, when it just grows, all by itself, is just an incredible thing. And you guys should be really, really proud of that. You guys have got a huge, huge community, especially on Discord and Twitter. And that pretty much came sort of overnight as you came to market and started telling everyone about you. So I guess Discord is obviously one of the best ways that we can follow you for updates and things like that, as well as your Telegram. We'll be dropping all of your links below, which is sort of the main one for the launch tomorrow. What's your main channel you're communicating on?
At the moment, we're really it's really focused on Telegram and Twitter. Discord again is very much for our gaming community, for players, everything. That's where the vast majority, of that sort of conversation goes on. So much more in terms of the token is at UniX_token on Telegram. And yeah, that's, there's all videos on how to purchase on top, Copperlaunch, what's going to happen afterwards, our roadmap, everything is in Telegram.
Awesome. It's going to need, Copperlaunch is going to need some explaining. So that's good. Fab. Sure. It's been awesome having you on. We love the project, love the team so much, and we're just really, really excited for tomorrow. So fingers crossed, all goes well. Yeah, thanks again, Connor, for popping on.
Thank you.
Okay, so thanks, Connor, and thanks, Pluto Nauts, for watching. We'll be back with more from the galaxy of Pluto soon. Don't forget to give us a like and a share and subscribe.